Hey y'all, what's up? JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another review on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Listen, I wanted to get this review out to you guys on Tuesday, and I had the intention of going live and stuff, but I just had a lot going on, and by late that night, I got sick. Like, I have been so sick all yesterday. I'm feeling a little better today. Just a little better. I feel like my energy is still a little low, but yeah, I said let me try and get some content out if I can, if I can stand it. So here we are doing the Real Housewives of Atlanta review, and I did watch the Nene Leaks interview, and I have to go back and watch it again to actually take my notes so that we can also discuss that, okay? And you guys can hear my perspective on the things that Nene Leaks had to say, okay? But without further ado, definitely go ahead and like up the video. I do appreciate it. And let's talk about the show. Okay. So we know that Kandi is pissed with Drew for calling her a liar about seeing her kiss LaToya. And I've already told y'all, I believe what Kandi said. I feel like Kandi isn't a person that just go around lying on people. And since she's been on the show, I can't really recall a time that Kandi has really lied. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I recall a time that Kandi has ever lied, in my opinion. Okay. So with Drew is known to like stretch the truth a bit. So I do believe that she kissed that lady. And Toya has said on more than one platform that she kissed Drew. And it is what it is. And I feel like since nobody has hardcore evidence, like video, Drew is definitely going to continue to deny it to the ground. Okay. Now, if somebody has some evidence for something, maybe she'll be like, okay, y'all was right. But since people are only saying they saw it with their eyes, she's like, well, you can't prove it. So I'm going to continue to deny it. So that's just where we are. Now, Kenya and Mayetta do talk. Kenya says she isn't understanding the big deal with Drew admitting that she kissed Toya. She's not understanding the big deal. Y'all know Kenya fell the other day, so she didn't join in on any of the festivities. But this time, she is going to be a part, and Mayetta came to her to kind of like brief her and let her know about everything that had been going on since she's been away. So Mayetta tells Kenya that Marlo took video footage and sent that to Toya. And then Toya took that footage and sent it to Drew. Like, what the fuck are you saying about me? Like, what the fuck is this? Girl, that was some messy stuff. But I'm not even mad at Marlo for doing that. Now, Toya then called Kandi to clear her name, laugh my ass. So what you need to clear your name for? You've been around here saying that you kissed this girl. Right? So now what you need to clear your name for? I'm confused. Toya admitted the kiss on the reunion. She admitted it on Kandi Speak on it. So why are you playing? Are you trying to save whatever piece of a friendship that you do have with Drew? What's going on with that? Okay, I don't know. That's giving very weird. I don't know. Maybe you and Drew made a pact to never talk about it or something. I don't know. Maybe because you got this baby on the way and you're in a new relationship, you don't want what they're talking about to come in and affect nothing you got going on. I'm not sure. But Drew sits with the one person the next morning who we know does not like her, which is Sheree. And it bothers me so much, y'all, because I really like Drew. But the past few episodes, she has really been turning me off. And it's giving she's searching for a friend. Because why would you, out of all people, pull Sheree to the side to have a conversation with Sheree? And you know this lady don't like you. Anywho, Drew says that she thought it was a safe space with the girls. You thought it was a safe space? I don't like that terminology. I thought it was a safe space. What it's giving is I'm going to give y'all my honest, true thoughts about some shit, and I don't expect y'all to go back and tell nobody else. So it's kind of like, I understand you thought it was a safe space, but you also thought that you could just talk shit. And you thought that you was going to be able to talk this shit about Toya or whatever you said, and y'all was just going to be cool later. I don't think that's nice. If Toya your friend, let her be your friend. Don't be trying to be fake when you with the ladies. You want to talk about her in one way, and then when you're not with the ladies and you with Toya, I feel like that gives a bit of two-face. That's why you thought that it was a safe space. You thought you could just say and do whatever the hell you want. So then she says Toya called her about the whole Marlo video. which I was a little confused. I was like, I thought you called her. Like, which one is it? Whatever it is, they had a conversation, okay? They had a text exchange. Drew asked Toya if they ever kissed. Toya says no. All right. I feel like they had a conversation and Drew wanted her to text no so that she could have it on record in text message. Right. So either way, let's keep going. Drew says she never, let me see. Hold on. I don't know why I have that. Drew says she never say Kenya. I don't know what that is. Anywho, Sheree says that, oh, Drew said something about Kenya, but I don't remember what it was because Sheree ended up saying something like, but that's your friend, right? And I'm over here looking like, Sheree, you are so messy, girl. You are so messy. Drew says they're learning a lot, okay? When it comes to her and Kenya and all of the ladies, Kandi and everything. She says she looking at everybody with a side eye. Drew says Kandi tried to lie on her. And then Sheree says, but Kandi says she saw it. And I'm like, this is so messy of Sheree. Sheree, you know you get on my nerves because you contribute heavily to bullshit. And when the ladies get to arguing, you want to run out of scenes crying and being emotional and shit. Like, this is not why you brought them together. But that's the very reason you brought them together, because you be bringing up certain topics. Like, you're just so fake. But anywho, Drew, I want you to stop saying that Kandi lied on you, because she didn't. I mean, you're gonna have to come with some better proof than that. Because out of all things Kandi would lie on, why would she lie about you kissing that girl? Because it's really not that big of a deal, especially amongst these ladies. They all have done whatever, like may have kissed each other, slapped each other on the butt, whatever it is. So I think as a collective, they're like, it's not that big of a deal. Why? Like, we always have fun. Like, why is she trying to deny it so hard? So yeah, but anywho, let's keep going. Drew says that Kandi trying to warm her up to the idea of kissing a girl for the movie. That don't make sense either. Warm you up? That's gonna be up to whatever intimacy coach they got on set. That's gonna get you warmed up. Why does Kandi need to get you warmed up for a role? And the for you to say that, like, Kandi, she's trying to get me warmed up for the idea of kissing a girl. First of all, how did the whole kissing a girl conversation come about? Who brought it up? And I'm sure it was just y'all casually talking, and then somebody mentioned that you kissed Toya. That has nothing to do with somebody trying to warm you up for a particular role that you got. I don't know. You was just searching for stuff, and it was really irritating. You just came up with whatever you could. Drew saying Kandi is trying to produce stuff the same way that she produced the dungeon, and I'm like, bitch, I know you didn't. I know you didn't. And to try to relate the two kind of pissed me off, because I'm like, Kandi created the dungeon because people were putting negative shit on her. So she turned a shade tree into a money tree. How the fuck? And y'all can explain it to me because it doesn't really make sense. How can you relate both of those? She's trying to produce some stuff the same way she produced the dungeon. What? I'm literally sitting here trying to, like, I'm still puzzled trying to figure out how do those two even connect. She's trying to produce you kissing. I don't know. I'm not even going. Drew, again, dear heart is giving you're reaching. Again, that's what it's giving. It's giving you're reaching, and I just can't take it. Then I believe that Sheree asked her about doing the film or something, and Drew was like, well, if I don't end up doing the film, that's fine. If me and Kandi don't end up being friends, I'll be fine. And it's like, remember you said that bullshit though. Remember you said that now. I just ugh. And it happens every time Kandi gives somebody an opportunity. It's like not much longer after she gives them an opportunity, they have a fallout or something. I don't know. Like, okay, Drew, remember that you said that, because you putting yourself in a tight spot. Your cousin Courtney, high key, is team Sheree, Sonya, and Marlo. Sonya, Marlo, and Sheree don't really like you like that, for real, for real. No matter how much Sonya tries, it's clear Marlo and Sheree don't care for your ass. Kenya likes you. I'll give you that. Monyetta might like you. But then now you're putting yourself on the outs with Kandi. So that's leaving you with a limited amount of ladies that actually like you. Why would you want that? All because you don't want to admit that you kissed somebody. So Mayetta tells Kenya about how the ladies tried to tell Courtney to watch out for her cousin and how she should team up with them, right? So Drew, um, so getting back to Drew, Drew lies just to keep showing Drew's lies just keep showing up, or either she has a really bad memory, saying Courtney wasn't warm and fuzzy to her. Okay, let's go back. Mayetta tells Kenya about how the ladies tried to tell Courtney to watch out for her cousin. So we're going to get into that more deeper later once that comes to the forefront. Because for me, I feel like Mayetta was not lying. And we'll talk about that. But as the ladies are headed out to go to their first activity, Drew, I feel like her lies just keep showing up, or either she has like a really bad memory. Because as they're in the car, Kenya asks her if she's talked to Courtney, and she says, well, yeah, she spoke, but it wasn't like warm and fuzzy like she typically is. And I was so confused by that, because once they played the playback, that lady went over there, hugged on you, gave you a kiss, and asked how you were doing, or whatever the case is. So, Drew, you just be creating stuff in your head sometimes. And I'm not saying Ralph is an innocent person, but it does take me to question, what are some things that you may have made up when it comes to your own husband? Because you're never the problem. You're never, ever the problem. It's always other people. But let's keep going. So they do the sound healing, and the ladies speak on last night and how Kandi insinuated that Drew kissed Toya. Marlo said that she recorded the combo and she did send it over to Toya. Drew was mad that things were recorded and sent out. Mayetta and Marlo were recording, but Mayetta said she stopped. So don't try and put her in the same place as Marlo, because when they said nobody recording, she stopped recording. Okay. Drew says she and Candi's issues are their issues and nobody else's. And then she turns and asks Marlo, why would she insert herself? And I'm like, well, if you and Candi's issues are y'all issues, why would you then insert Sheree? Why would you go and sit down and have a conversation with Sheree if y'all issues are y'all issues? And then you tell Sheree that Kandi is trying to produce some shit like she produced the Dungeon Show. Ain't no telling how Sheree will go and flip that, right? Then you said if you don't do the film with her, you'll be fine. Then you also said if y'all don't be friends, you'll be fine. And you got to read the room and look at who you're talking to. It's a person that don't care for you. So why would you insert Sheree for Sheree to go back and tell whatever narrative that she wants to Kandi? And you sitting over here looking dumb as hell. And you got the audacity to talk about Marlo inserting herself. And if I was Marlo, I would say, oh no, boo, I didn't insert just myself, bitch. I inserted Toya. And that's why you're really mad. Okay? It's really that simple. What else? Drew says she and Candy. Yeah, that's what she said. So then Drew starts to drag the hell out of Marlo. And Drew, that dragging you gave Marlo, I was like, okay, Drew is reading the hell out of Marlo. She was talking about prison. She was talking about her edges. She was like going in. And I enjoyed the reads, but the way that you rose to the occasion, it's actually showing that you're more guilty because you're really pissed about it. So, I mean, it didn't really help you the way that you was going off on Marlo the way that you did. I just felt like you was doing the most and you got caught up in a lie, and it is what it is. Right? So Marlo says she needs to focus on her husband. Ooh. And then Drew said, at least I have one. And then I'm like, I hear that. But your husband, I don't know if that's really a compliment for real, for real. At least you have one. If you say so, congratulations. All right. So Kenya brings up Courtney and what the ladies told Courtney, and how she should pretty much share that information with Drew. So she was like, is there anything you wanted to tell Drew about X, Y, and Z? And Courtney says she ain't got nothing to say because she only accountable for what it is that she does. Noted. You only accountable for what it is that you do. Gotcha. So Kenya tells Drew they were talking about her. And Courtney tells Kenya to shut up because she wasn't there. But here's the thing, Courtney. Number one, I'm gonna say this, Mayetta, you should have spoke the fuck up because you came to Kenya and told her that. So you should have inserted yourself to clear up and say, yeah, I had the conversation with Kenya when I was there, whatever. Okay, that's number one. Number two, Courtney says that she ain't got nothing to say. She's only accountable for herself. So if Kenya is saying those ladies were talking about Drew, how about you shut the fuck up and be accountable for yourself and let those ladies address whatever the hell it is that King is talking about? See, that's the stuff for me that makes me believe that you really wanted it with Kenya. That's what it was given to me. Like you just wanted to have something with her. Even though she did ask the question to you, you gave her an answer. We respected the answer, but it was the follow up for me. Anywho, and the gag is y'all were talking about her though. Courtney tells Kenya to shut up. Kenya had every right to respond and say, no, bitch, you shut up. Courtney asked what she's gonna do about it. And see, this is the problem that I have right here. This is the stuff. Courtney, for me, is problematic. She's problematic as hell for me. Courtney is always searching and seeking and ready for a fight. And I'm not here for that. Girl, we can banter back and forth, but it's you saying and what you're gonna do about it. I loved how Kenya was like, girl, I'm not gonna fight you if that's what you want. Like, girl, I'm not gonna fight you. I don't do that. Girl, I'm too grown. I make too much money to ever do that. Okay. That's whack. Like, girl, I'm not gonna fight you, but I will read this shit out of you. But because you're looking for a moment and because I'm bored, I'm barely gonna give you that. So it's whatever. Right? I felt like Courtney, dear heart, you're a clown. Okay. You got all hyped up for no reason when you just said that you can only be accountable for what it is that you've done. Okay. So, like I said, you ain't have to say nothing. Let them speak for themselves because they was in the room talking too. And it also was given to me that you wanted brownie points with those ladies. You wanted brownie points. Okay. So I just said, Courtney, you're mad that Kenya don't want you touching her. And you thought you were going to be in the inner circle. And Kenya keeps reminding your ass that you're not. And that's what you can't take. Okay. You can't take that truth. So Sheree wasn't there when Kandi said and sing. And this was my thing. So the ladies were like, Kenya, you weren't even there or whatever. So they felt the way that Kenya wasn't there and she's coming to Courtney about whatever was said, right? And granted, Monyetta, I do think you should have spoke up, but at the same time, Sheree wasn't there when Kandi said and sing. But when Sheree got back to that table, she made sure to bring that shit up. So why is it okay? The same way y'all try to use the whole storyline of why is it that Kenya doesn't make, text messages from Roy a big deal, whereas she did with Sheree. Like, cut it out. First of all, any messages Roy sent to Marlo were old as fuck. Okay. Kenya's messages with Martell or whatever he sent her was more newer than Sheree. And also Sheree made it a big deal. Kenya didn't. They just handled it two different ways. But with this situation, yeah, that's what y'all do. Sheree brought this shit up about Ancine. She didn't have to say nothing. She was being messy. So when Kenya did it, now y'all got a problem and feel like she should have did that. Oh, okay then. Now, Monyetta recorded it. She said she did cut the camera off. Okay. I said I saw no issue really with her telling Kenya what happened because Kenya is actually in the circle, right? So my thing is this. Kenya was not present the day before. And this is something that always happens, right? Whenever somebody isn't there, there's a cast member that goes to them and briefs them on everything of what happened. So I felt like what Monyetta was doing with Kenya was like typical behavior. So it is what it is. It happens when people were out. So Sonya does let Marlo know that she was wrong for sending that to Toya. And maybe she was wrong. Yeah, because Toya's on the outside of the circle, right? Toya's not even on the show. So for her to send that to a person that's not on the show, that is messed up. But I honestly did not mind Marlo doing that. I really didn't. I was like, oh, well, she did it. It is what it is, girl. I wasn't even tripping. So that's just where we were. You talk shit, she said it. It is what it is. So, but I understand Sonya saying that she was wrong. And I'm not saying Marlo wasn't, but I am saying that I didn't mind. Kenya says Courtney was looking for a reason with her. I believe she said that. Marlo was over there praising Kenya because Kenya and Courtney are pretty much going back and forth. Kenya's like, don't nobody like you. And then Marlo's like, I like you. Ha ha ha, whatever. Sheree thinks Kenya shouldn't tell the story when she wasn't there. Sheree, you did the same thing. You wasn't there when you heard about the Ancine situation. So you shouldn't have did that. Anywho, what else happened? Sonya, Marlo, and Courtney is disappointed in Mayetta, and Mayetta now tells Sheree that she didn't know what it was all about, but it seemed like they were all coming against Drew. She felt like they were all colluding. And of course, Sonya disagrees with that, but I feel like y'all were colluding. And the only way for y'all to not collude to come against Drew is if y'all are already in it. So it wasn't much for y'all to even come together on when y'all all in it together. So maybe it could have been a wrong term that Mayetta used, but she was right. Y'all were in there trying to talk to this girl to sway her about her cousin, trying to let her know her cousin is one way on camera and off camera she's another. She's a liar, whatever the case is. Like, y'all were in there trying to get that lady to turn against her own quote unquote cousin. It is what it is. Sheree, I said, Sheree, why did you leave out of the healing room being all emotional when they were talking, right? So after they did the healing, everybody stood up there talking, and at some point Sheree leaves out because she felt like they doing too much and they arguing. And I'm like, but you asked and brought up some of the questions that caused y'all to argue. So I'm a little confused as to why you now want to run out and be emotional and start crying. Like, what is that shit about, Sheree? And you've done it on more than one scene this season. What is that about? You be starting all this dramatic shit and then you want to cry about it. Girl, I cannot. Anywho, I just feel like you and Drew are damn near the same person. You just the big sister, she's the younger sister. And I do feel like y'all both are liars and y'all both are deflectors. And that's just what it is. Let's get to dinner. Drew speaks on her marriage and she says that she's still in counseling, but Ralph has stopped. Mayetta says Kandi was confused by everything and she wants to wait until she and Drew could actually have a conversation. Kandi did talk to Toya, and Toya says that Marlo sent it to Toya to see how Drew really felt about her. And Marlo was like, yeah, and I did. And that's why I did it, girl. So she could see, since you have so many high things to say about her, let's let her hear what you have to say. Hilarious. Sonya calls out Mayetta for how she took the info back to Kenya, saying she violated. That's not violating anything, stupid bitch. That's not violating anything. Kenya is a part of the group. You would have briefed Marlo in the same fashion. So I don't think she violated nothing. She may have used the wrong term when she brought it back, but outside of that, I don't think Mayetta did anything wrong. The only thing she did do wrong for me was not speaking up when the conversation first came up. And then I'm wondering if Mayetta should have just sent the recording to Kenya and that would have made y'all feel better or something. But anywho, I said y'all were talking about Drew and calling her a liar. Mayetta didn't lie. Y'all was trying to convince that woman that she couldn't trust her husband because her cousin, because she lies. And I can see why she thought it came off as a collusion because y'all wanted her to be on the same page with y'all when it came to Drew. That's what it was given to me. Y'all already know Kandi not crazy about Courtney. Kenya slowly letting her know she not featuring her ass either. And now the only person left is Drew. So now y'all trying to convince her that Drew is flawed, and then boom, y'all will have her on the same page as y'all. Yes, it's giving collusion to me. All of y'all got beef with somebody over there. Sonya has issues with Drew, Marlo, Sheree. It only makes sense. Like it was giving let's form an alliance. And don't form that alliance too soon, Courtney, and your ass don't get invited back next season. But anywho, what else did I say? Sonya, did you have a sit down with Kandi about a situation that you were not present for? Let's get into it. You talking about how Mayetta took the information back, but remember when you sat down with Kandi and you wanted to talk to Kandi about her situation with Marlo, and you didn't even have all the facts. You only had what the fuck Marlo told you, and tried to force that on Kandi. I didn't like that. And that's why a lot of the fans don't rock with you. Even if they are Marlo fans, it's giving like how you just blindly go up for her. But then you sit up there and say that you're a neutral person when you're not. If you're not neutral, that's fine. Just say that. Drew and Marlo argue. Drew is so bothered that Marlo showed her two-faced side. And I'm talking about Drew's two-faced side. Like, why are you mad? Okay. Why are you mad? Didn't you have a recording yourself at some point of Toya and a prophet or something that happened last season? Did you have an audio recording or whatever? So it's cool when you do it. It's a problem when they do it. Got it. Okay. Well, that might be karma. Since y'all keep talking about karma, maybe that's your karma. I don't know. Marlo says karma is a bitch. That's why bad things happen to people every day. So this one, Mayetta was like, well, girl, what does that mean? Because somebody else here said the same thing the other day. And it's like, Mayetta, stop playing. Call the person out that you talking about. And you're talking about Courtney. So call her out. And just be like, Courtney just said this shit the other day. It's like, Mayetta, you want to be in the drama, but you don't want to be in the mess at the same time. And I just feel like if you go put it out there, go all the way in. That's all I'm saying. Courtney over here lying, saying her when it came up to it, the karma that Courtney was talking about was the fall that Kenya had. And when Kenya asked her about that, Courtney is lying, saying that she wasn't referring to the fall as her karma, except for you were. Because then you ended up saying it like twice while sitting at the table. So I'm just over you too, Courtney. Like So Kenya tells Courtney that she lacks empathy to say her fall was karma. And Marlo starts coughing, saying the pot calling the kettle black. Then Bravo plays clips that have absolutely nothing to do with what Kenya was speaking on in the moment. I did not understand that at all. Like pot calling the kettle black because she said somebody lacks empathy for referring to a fall as their karma. And y'all showing the argument she had with Martell when she had every right to respond to him in that way. Girl, what? And the last one of her cussing out Marlo for beating on her door knowing she had her daughter there. Those had nothing to do with Courtney or nothing to do with the pot calling the kettle black. I'm so confused. Courtney and Kenya go back and forth about karma, but Sheree said, put a fork in it. And I just don't be like, girl, you be wanting all this drama. And then when the drama gets started, you be like, put a fork in it. Or you running out crying. Anyway, while at the winery, Marlo gets a text message from Drew's husband. Meech, where's my husband? First of all, why is your husband texting this lady? I kind of feel like, why does he even have her number, high key? But Ralph pretty much texts Marlo and says that tells her to pretty much keep his name out her mouth because she's been saying really disrespectful things about him, and he let it slide last year, but he's not gonna do it no more. And yikes, Drew and Marlo didn't even say nothing about Drew's husband when they were getting into the argument. Drew just wanted to be messy, and I mean, if your beef is with Marlo, let it be with Marlo. Why are you pulling your husband into your beef to come at Marlo? I don't think that was right, because if Marlo would have did that, I don't think you would have liked that at all. So why do that? And it's given you don't know what Ralph is doing on his end. So let me tell Ralph what it is that Marlo's saying about him to kind of get him distracted from whatever he got going on, whatever. Like, I don't know, something was off. And I didn't really like that, Drew. What else? I also feel like this. Y'all did not like it when Ross stood up on Kenya last season and said something about don't fuck with my wife. So why would you then have your man send a text to Marlo? Why would you do that? But either way it go, that's pretty much how it ended. The ladies were about to go back and forth, but of course, Kenya and Sheree shut it down. They was like, nah, we're not going to do that here. We in front of these good white people. Let's just enjoy the wine for whatever it is. So that's what they did. They had, I guess, a decent time, but this trip was boring as fuck. The Birmingham trip was whack. This trip was whack as hell. It was giving boring and a lot of forced drama. I don't know who the producers are, but you guys are doing a horrible job. I mean, a horrible fucking job on this show. And I'm just being honest. Like, it's just like this season really ain't that good. Shout out to the views being good though, because they're still getting like 800,000, views, and I think that's great. But the show is just not good. It's just not good. So I need y'all to give me y'all ratings in the comments or what y'all would rate this show this particular episode like y'all did. I believe y'all gave the rating on last week, but girl, this shit here is horrible. Trip just boring as fuck. Like no, and there are no interesting characters on the season for real. I feel like Marlo does have the potential to be interesting. Kenya has the potential to be interesting. Kandi wasn't really damn near show up more. Um, and yeah, like everybody else is just giving fucking blah. Y'all need to listen. Sweet 16 is coming up. Y'all need to revamp some shit. And in all honesty, I don't see them getting rid of Kenya and Kandi. I don't see that shit at all. So I see them keeping both of them because they still gonna want to have that OG-ness in the seasons to come. So I see Kenya and Kandi continuing to stay with Real Housewives, but they need to bring in some actual real housewives. I wish they were able to bring in like women that were actually friends, like bring in like 3 more women that were friends and then fire 3 of these women up here. Um Bring in some real friends or some women that actually are living a housewife lifestyle. You know, I feel like out of all these ladies that's main cast members, who's the person that's married? Drew and Kandi, the only ones married. Like, yeah, y'all go back to the like y'all please switch some up. Let this be season 15, wrap it up, and y'all do some recasting. And what I kind of hate is that the network may not change anything because the views are giving a false idea of us being entertained based on the 800,000 views. And it could be 800,000 views, but it could be 300,000 people that actually enjoy the fucking show or the season. So I don't know. They need to change some stuff, but that's all I got, girl. Let me go blow my nose and stuff and, get me some orange juice and some liquids in my body because my throat is getting dry from doing all this forced talking. But I thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely like up the video. Yeah, I'm Jamie. That's me. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, all of that. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.